It's Wednesday, December 3rd.
It's bad enough First Nations don't trust the government, and this makes it even worse.
Respect. Coastal chiefs are now opposing a new pipeline between Alberta and BC, demanding more consultation as the Prime Minister promises a meeting. RCMP in leader releasing security video in hopes of finding a suspect in a business fire they've deemed suspicious.
3, 2, 1.
And City Hall in Regina officially lit up for the holidays. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning. Happy Wednesday.
It was chilly out there last night trying to light those lights.
Yeah, chilly. Not as bad as what we saw 2 years ago, I think. No. We had to move all the acts inside. Last night, the acts were beautiful. Had a little bit of those flakes, right? But it's picturesque.
You guys are lucky we're here. We sat on the ice carved bench and we just about slid
off, yeah.
Right onto the pavement. We'll get to your forecast in just a minute. Let's get to your news for this part of the hour. We'll begin with this. Fire departments that battled unprecedented summer wildfires have received special recognition at the Legislative Building. On Tuesday, close to 50 fire departments from across Saskatchewan and Manitoba awarded the Premier's commendation. Wayne Mantika was there.
Hundreds of firefighters from across Saskatchewan and parts of Manitoba answered the call to protect lives and property as wildfires rage through Saskatchewan's north. Many say they have never experienced anything like it.
It was a little more intense than we had seen. We don't have that kind of forest around home, so it was definitely a little different, but definitely an experience, to say the least.
Nearly 50 fire departments that took part in the forest fire effort were awarded the Premier's commendation at the Legislature.
To recognize people that had stepped up in the face of adversity, danger, stepped up with great courage to help other Saskatchewan residents.
Many of the fire departments recognized are comprised of volunteers who were dispatched to where help was needed most.
We were initially actually dispatched to Pelican Narrows, and when we arrived, we were redirected to the town of Creighton. At that time, Denary Beach was actually on fire.
The firefighters appreciated the recognition.
It's fantastic. It's so nice to see the Premier come and really talk about everything that happened, and to thank everybody individually on behalf of their fire department for helping. And I mean, you can't ask for anything better.
The NDP believe the government must be better prepared for future fire seasons. It has introduced legislation calling for a strategy to avoid wildfires. The government says a strategy already exists. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Wayne, RCMP in Leader, Saskatchewan, releasing security video in the hopes of finding a suspect in a business fire they've deemed suspicious. Here is the video. As part of the investigation, officers put this video out showing a suspect arriving at a business in Leader, Saskatchewan, breaking in and leaving in a dark-colored SUV. Mounties say it resembles a Jeep, but maybe another similar-looking SUV. This all happened October 26th around 3 in the morning on 1st Avenue. The business was destroyed by fire. The Saskatchewan SPCA is raising concerns about animal welfare enforcement in this province. As Stacey Hine tells us, it comes as the provincial government opens the bid for animal protection services to new agencies.
With the contract for animal protection services in Saskatchewan set to expire in March, the province has opened the work to new bids. Currently, Animal Protection Services of Saskatchewan handles enforcement province-wide, except in Regina, where the Humane Society provides the service. The Saskatchewan SPCA says it worries about the changes, including potential funding cuts.
The main one, though, would be around the financial constraints.
The province told CTV News it spent about $6.5 million on animal protection over the past 3.5 years, which works out to about $1.8 million per year. But the Saskatchewan SPCA says new requests for proposals suggest an annual budget of $1.6 million. It notes officers already log enough overtime to equal a full-time position.
They're already seeing, a strained workload based off the current of dollars that have been made available to them we aren't sure how an agency taking over would do more with less.
Last week, the province announced it's updating animal protection legislation to improve transparency and accountability. The changes include a new code of conduct, a chief officer to oversee enforcement, and an appeals board on animal decisions. The Saskatchewan SPCA says there's still unanswered questions around the legislation changes and funding.
And anytime that we can have an opportunity to get clarification, we welcome that.
In a statement to CTV News, the province says animal welfare remains a priority for Saskatchewan. It also says the proposed budget of $1.6 million reflects the funding that will continue to fully support enforcement under a new provider. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Well, let's talk about that former director of a private Christian school pleading guilty to criminal charges, Jeremy Dodge.
Thank you, Daryl. Yeah, instead of going to trial yesterday, John Olababokin pleaded guilty to 5 counts of assault with a weapon stemming from 2003 while he was working at Christian Center Academy, now known as Valor Academy. This comes just weeks after being sentenced and convicted of 9 counts of assault with a weapon. The sentencing hearing is scheduled for tomorrow. The death of a woman in Meadow Lake has been deemed not suspicious. The 29-year-old was found unresponsive in a parking lot in the community on Friday morning. She was declared dead at the scene. Through their investigation, police have since determined there was no foul play in her death, but no other details have been released. All right, Daryl, yesterday was Giving Tuesday, a day dedicated to generosity and community support, and the Saskatoon Food Bank marked the occasion with a major boost.
That's right. UFCW Canada presented the Saskatoon Food Bank and Learning Centre with a check for $10,000 from Saskatchewan members. It also was the official start to the Light It Up campaign for the food bank. Local union presidents were at the event saying their group chose to give the food to the food bank because more than ever, putting food on the table is a struggle for a lot of people.
Just because we have full-time jobs, there's people that need the food bank. Our members that we represent here in Saskatoon, PA, Regina, they have full-time jobs. And like Brant says, they're using the food bank. So that's why, you know, with us and National, we've come across this, and that's why we're doing this donation here in Saskatoon.
The executive director of the food bank says, to put it in perspective, $10,000 can buy up to 7,000 liters of milk. Since the University of Regina Student Union disbanded back in October, there's been concern on campus on who will represent the students. Damian Smith with a group hoping to fill that void.
It's a time of transition for University of Regina students who have been without an official student union since URSU dissolved in October. A new union has formed on campus, but will need a referendum to get an organization into place.
We're sort of here as signers to get the organization started with incorporation and all of that sort of stuff, and then to pursue the negotiations with the university on getting everything handed back over to student control.
The new union will be called the University of Regina Students Association, or URSA. According to McStravick, the organization will operate like the legislature with a general council and will also have 100 seats available for student groups around the University of Regina and First Nations University.
We're not going to try to dictate to the student societies and associations how they ought to elect, appoint the people who are filling their seats.
Also new, students from FNU will also have elected representation. In the past, URSU worked with the FNU Student Association, receiving a portion of the fees from past levies.
At FNU here, there's not. The students aren't allowed to vote here. So we do need that board, that bigger board that can help to advocate for things like that. And I think that it's great because we have been sitting in limbo for so long.
FNU is guaranteed representation both as a federated college, so there will be a direct elected member to the General Council for FNU.
The election will take place in March, and a neutral chief returning officer for the election will also be hired to show students transparency and give them confidence in the election process. Damian Smith, CTV News, Regina.
Well, the Swift Current Broncos find themselves mired in a 6-game losing skid.
He steals it right back from him. Onto the stick of Crap. Back for Toll. Gives it to McCaverty. He scores!
Wenatchee Wild scored 4 times in the second period en route to a 7-2 win over the Broncos last night. The Broncos are currently last place in the WHL East and will face the Tri-City Americans tonight. The city of Regina kicked off the holiday season with one of the longest running traditions outside City Hall.
3, 2, 1.
Light the lights taking place in front of City Hall last night. Kayleen, Janelle, and I were the masters of ceremony again, which was wonderful to do. The mayor and city council helped light up City Hall with Queen Elizabeth II courtyard trees. Despite the chilly temperatures, people really enjoyed themselves.
Well, it's the tradition. That's a big one for me. But ultimately, it brings people together. As it starts to get colder, it's nice to do something that warms people up a little bit, brings people together, and celebrate the holidays.
See Director Corey there. He was the one in the pink helmet. The celebration featured local entertainment, interactive ice displays, even a visit from the mean one. Let's get over to the Weather Center. Kayleen, it was very chilly out there last night. What's today look like?
Well, today is also looking chilly. We're not only going to be talking about the temperatures in this weather segment here, we're going to be talking about the wind chill this afternoon because it is going to be really cold out there. Minus 17 right now to start the day. We do have just a few flakes still in the Regina area. Minus 22 to wake us up in Saskatoon. Just a little bit of clouds to start the day. We do have some winds coming in at 11 kilometers per hour. We're not really going to be seeing those increase all too much this afternoon. Now, what we are talking about is just a mix of sun and cloud, mainly for the afternoon, and then some more snow making its way into the northern part of the province first throughout this afternoon, and then by the evening hours reaching down through the central zone around Prince Albert and Saskatoon. So again, this is at about 10:45 p.m. You can see it's right around Saskatoon there, and then it's going to be continuing on to track south, southeast, in fact, and then heading right over top of the Parkland region, bringing some more flurries overnight and into the early morning hours for us waking up in Regina, and of course around Yorkton as well. Continuing on into tomorrow, we're not really seeing quite as much throughout the early morning, and then into the afternoon, we are seeing some more popping up down in the southwest corner around Swift Current. Also seeing some more of those flurries up north, of course, as well. If you're wondering how much snow is on the way, well, by the end of the day today, we're seeing about 1 centimeter expected for the Battleford, Saskatoon, and about 2 centimeters expected for Prince Albert. But then, as we mentioned, throughout those overnight hours and into early tomorrow, we do see it going over top of Regina and Yorkton. So about 2 centimeters by the morning for Regina and about 3 centimeters for Yorkton, just falling overnight. Today's forecast with those temperatures, we're seeing about minus 13 for Moose Jaw, minus 15 for Weyburn, and minus 17 for Estevan, minus 17 for Yorkton as well. But again, the wind chill is going to be making it feel colder. At about 3 o'clock this afternoon, wind chill making it feel like minus 22 in Regina, feeling like minus 24 in Saskatoon, and minus 23 in Yorkton. So definitely bundle up if you are heading out the door today. If you're wondering when more snow is on the way, well, we talked about that snow on the way overnight tonight. We also have some expected overnight on Thursday into Friday morning. And then when we're seeing it in the afternoon for Regina is on Tuesday. So we have to wait until our next work week for that. In Saskatoon, again, we're seeing some overnight snow tonight into tomorrow. Tomorrow, some overnight snow. Temperatures getting warmer for tomorrow afternoon, however. And then similar to Regina, we are seeing a mix of sun and cloud to carry us through the weekend with some cool temperatures on Saturday, and then some more flurries on the way for Tuesday.
Saskatchewan health officials are widening access to HIV self-testing kits. The Saskatchewan Health Authority says better access to the test kits will help with both HIV awareness and reducing the stigma around testing. Kits can be picked up by members of the public at a variety of SHA locations, including public health clinics, community support providers, and more. A full list can be found through the SHA's website. The kits only require a small blood sample to deliver accurate results within 1 minute. Positive results need to be confirmed through additional in-person testing.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
Well, in case you missed it, these fishers in Peru are getting into the Christmas spirit. Dressed up as Santa Claus, taken to the waters in traditional reed boats to kick off the town's festive season. These reed boats are ancient watercrafts used by fishers along Peru's northern coast for years. They also gave passengers for rides and through the Pacific waves.
Those Santa Claus, better look out for Santa Jaws.
They don't look as safe as I would like them to.
That's what I mean. I'm worried about their safety. My goodness. Cool boats, though.
Yeah.
Question of the day.
Yeah.
So we're asking you today, what is your favorite Christmas appetizer or snack? Is there that one dish when you roll up to the family function that you're like, oh, Aunt Gladys better have made this one appetizer?
Oh, I just dummy candy canes. I don't know how many mini candy canes I've been through already this year. Oh, they're just like
really
crazy.
Okay. What about you, Jeremy?
My mom makes these mushroom turnovers that I hope are at every family gathering. They're quite a lot of work, so she usually saves them for Christmas, but I'm hoping this is the year. Oh, man, I love those
My
things.
mom always just did a whole bunch of Christmas baking, so definitely that. But also, at the family function, she just put out a shrimp ring.
Oh,
you know?
shrimp ring.
Yeah, and
yes.
it was my cousins and I.
Tails all over the house.
Yeah, throwing the tails on each other's plates because we were like, I didn't eat 10 shrimp. What do you mean? It wasn't me.
Nope, not a chance. Let us know what you think. Text 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or scan the QR code on your screen. We'll take a look at the city of Regina. We'll be back with more Your Morning Saskatchewan in just a minute.
Matt Scooby in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. And for it, we head to Florida. Maple Leafs Panthers Austin Matthews finds Nicholas Waugh, who is robbed by the blocker of Sergei Bobrovsky. What a save, getting across to keep that puck out of the net. A fantastic save, the best of the day. That is your must-see moment. And tonight on TSN, we've got a PWHL doubleheader. First up, the Golden Knights face the Fleet. Then the Sirens will square off with the Torrent. Coverage begins 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Our Mike Siona is out getting you in the giving spirit as part of our holiday haul. And this morning, he is at Lee Valley. Mike.
Yes, thank you very much, Jeremy. We are down here at Lee Valley, as you say, with Angela Wilson, and we're talking about kids' toys. Maybe it's not the first thing you thought of when I said Lee Valley this morning, but it is something that you need to think of. And really cool stuff here, especially things that the kids can actually build themselves, right?
That's correct, yeah. So we have inspiration-based projects for kids and families and dads. We have these 4 sets of toys that you just build yourselves. Comes with a little screwdriver for the little one to use, and then they can paint it, assemble it, do whatever they wish with it. Very handy to do as a family gift. So it's not just another toy, it's an experience.
Yeah, it's really kind of cool because, I mean, this one in particular, I kind of like that because you can build it. I mean, it's something tangible, feasible. There's that sense of accomplishment. And then at the end of it, you're left with a cool truck or whatever, right? So who doesn't like that? Now, airplanes are also same kind of concept?
Same idea, yeah. This was created by a Canadian woodworking instructor with the intent of teaching a skill at the same time. So we do have the 2 styles of those, and they're fairly big, so it's very sizable. But once again, it's an experience that you get to do with your family.
And hidden in the gift is learning. Don't tell anybody that, right? I mean, but really, it is true. And then this is like just fun, kind of a great opportunity to explore the surroundings that you're in?
Yeah. So giving kids experiences outside as well is very important because it's educational. So that's a telescope, periscope, and microscope all in one for them to assemble and play with and discover.
I love that. Now, there's also the airplane launcher, but we've got this magazine here. Let's grab this thing because this is super neat. It's essentially the paper airplane book. You got to have a look at this, you guys. I mean, it shows you how to fold them. It's got dotted lines. You can make a shuttle, and it comes with the papers. Super, super cool. What a great idea. So many different gift ideas down here at Lee Valley, and we have just but scratched the surface here, Jeremy.
All right, Mike. Excellent. Looking forward to seeing more a little later on. Thank you.
Time now for a look at this school day forecast. It's brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zones safe. It's a cold start to the day out there. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we're at minus 22 in Saskatoon, rather, minus 17 in Regina, minus 18 by lunch in Regina, and minus 21 by lunch in Saskatoon. And by final bell, both cities at those expected daytime highs. For Regina, that's minus 14, and for Saskatoon, that's minus 15. Again, remember that the wind chill going to be making it feel colder than this, so definitely bundle up if you're heading out the door. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices. In Regina this morning, the common price is $127.9, but the lowest you might find is $102.9. In Saskatoon, the common price $119.9, the lowest you might find $114.9. As we turn our attention to the farm markets, the street price of canola is at $584.02 per ton, and the futures price at $658.40 per ton. Amber Durham wheat at $285.94 per ton, and red spring wheat at $252.59 per ton. And the Canadian dollar trading down this morning. It's now at 71.50 cents U.S. Coming up after the break, we're in conversation with the latest eliminated home cook from the MasterChef Canada kitchen. Stay with us.
Welcome back to your morning. It is 6:30. Prime Minister Mark Carney has now promised to meet with coastal First Nations after a vote to oppose the Alberta Pipeline Agreement.
Canada can create all the MOUs, project offices, advisory groups that they want, but chiefs are united. When it comes to approving large national projects on First Nations lands, there will not be getting around rights holders.
At the Assembly of First Nations gathering in Ottawa, chiefs unanimously voted to uphold BC's Northern Coast oil tanker ban and to oppose the Alberta Pipeline Agreement. Prime Minister Mark Carney said he will meet with the coastal BC chiefs and committed to a First Ministers meeting with First Nations early in the new year. He also announced his government will introduce clean drinking water legislation in the spring. People interested in a career in the mining industry have an opportunity to study in their home communities, specifically rural areas. On Tuesday, the Mosaic Company announced a $4 million investment into high school and post-secondary institutions across this province. Sierra de Souza Butts reports.
With the town of Esterhazy being home to the Mosaic Company's largest potash operation, the town is always looking for opportunities to keep young people in the community.
Our students that are in Esterhazy, their parents already work at the mines. So with them getting the education in Esterhazy, they can become second or third generation miners, which means, of course, growth.
Now that's closer to happening.
I'm pleased to share that the Mosaic Company is committing $4 million to programs with several important education partners here in Saskatchewan.
Mosaic's $4 million investment will provide high schools and post-secondary institutions across Saskatchewan a chance to expand educational opportunities for students considering mining careers.
We are already looking at positions that we need to fill, one being industrial mechanics. So throughout the year, we've had about 20 rotating empty positions, and I've been trying to fill those. And there's about 100 roles just for industrial mechanics in Esterhazy, so it's critical that we start investing in that pipeline, so as people retire, we can fill it every time there's an opening.
Good Spirit School Division, Suncrest College, Saskatchewan Polytechnic, and a potash mining readiness program for Indigenous students will each receive at least $1 million from Mosaic.
We'll be able to almost quadruple the number of students that we're able to put through our practical and applied arts millwright program in Churchbridge that doors would have been closed for in the past.
It's a great pathway for students in rural Saskatchewan to be able to get this education at home is phenomenal, and we know that our learners thrive when they study close to home.
Each institution will use the funding differently, but the goal is the same, building a larger workforce for one of Saskatchewan's largest industries. Sierra de Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
The city of Moose Jaw has parted ways with their city manager, Marcy Carmichael, after 2.5 years. City of Moose Jaw released a statement yesterday for Mayor James Murdoch, thanking her for her leadership and extending best wishes for future success, while thanking residents for their support, and they continue to focus on delivering quality services, he says. Carmichael was a former snowbird pilot, the first female to fly the famous jet. Chief of Staff Rhonda Sminiak, will take over on an interim basis. First big snowstorm of the season is hitting Atlantic Canada.
5 to 6 storms, we were below 75% of our deliverables. So we have several measures putting in place this year to increase that service standard for the community.
There are orange level snowfall warnings in effect in Cape Breton and parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, which could see up to 50 centimeters of snow. That's that new alert system Environment and Climate Change Canada has rolled out. Ferry crossings between PEI and Nova Scotia and to Newfoundland are canceled today. Some schools are closed in Cape Breton and St. John's area. Cities in the region have been getting ready for the storm. St. John had 46 plows ready to go to keep their roads and sidewalks clear. Halifax Airport trying to keep disruptions to a minimum with extra crew on hand to de-ice planes and clear runways. A nor'easter has moved up the East Coast, left a trail of damage behind in the U.S. In West Virginia, rescue crews had to save a truck driver as a cab of his rig dangled off a bridge for hours. State troopers in Pennsylvania say they've responded to more than 600 crashes. Logan Airport in Boston was ground to a stop last night, and that's been lifted, and there are delays this morning. We'll have full details on your weather forecast coming up. A Regina restaurant is raising a stink about downtown parking after a recent crackdown towards delivery drivers parked in its loading zone, and it's led to several tickets.
The loading zone, when we used to be from where the sign is there, all the way to the back of this tree.
Memories Dining and Bar has operated its downtown location for nearly 4 decades. Owners say added public parking has squashed its loading zone, no longer making it accessible for many of its delivery trucks. The 10-minute loading zone is also not enough time, they say, as stops can often take up to an hour or even longer.
They want people to come downtown, but they are very aggressive. They're following each other. They're writing tickets all over the city. The downtown is already a struggle for a lot of people. So we need to promote to bring people downtown, not to scare them away because they're worried to park.
Memories would like to see public parking spaces removed and parking attendants to be more gracious towards drivers actively working while parked in the loading zones. A plaque was unveiled at the Provincial Legislative Building Tuesday recognizing its accessibility. TC Douglas Building in Regina received the Rick Hansen Foundation Accessibility Certification on August 30th. It's a national rating system that evaluates meaningful access for most disabilities, including mobility, neurodivergent, hearing, and vision to visit buildings. TC Douglas Building already had most accessibility features, so an extensive upgrade was not really required.
Over the next couple of years, we're looking to audit our 515 owned buildings until December 2027 to give us the information we need to see what the gap is to get other buildings accessible for all the citizens who need access to buildings that provide government programs and services.
Certification is valid for about 5 years, by the way. Last week's warm weather benefited Canadian Western Agribition as the event broke attendance records. The show welcomed about 151,000 visitors, making it the largest to date. 3 sold-out rodeo nights were a major factor, along with a record number of school-age visitors, which is good to see. 55th edition of Agribition returns to the Real District late November next year. Planning already underway, if you can believe it. Team Einerson will wear Canada colors at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts in Mississauga. Curling Canada says the Manitoba rink will assume the title of Team Canada at the Playdowns at the end of January. The reigning champions, skipped by Rachel Homan, will not return to defend their title as they prepare, of course, for the Winter Olympic Games. Einerson is a 4-time Canadian champion. Her team had already earned 1 of 3 pre-qualification berths for the Scotties based on last season's rankings. Let's get our attention towards... Can you believe we're already talking about the Olympics right around the corner?
I know. Time just is flying, right?
What's your favorite Olympic event?
I mean, mine would be summer, not winter, but gymnastics.
Gymnastics? I don't know what it is. I can watch speed skating just for so long.
All right.
I don't know. We should try it. Let's try speed skating.
Should we? Should we do it for a segment?
With helmets and all kinds of pads.
Okay, I'm definitely falling on that.
Probably do it on some city streets right now.
Yeah, actually, you're very correct because we saw some snow yesterday in the province, very light, however. Today, we are going to be seeing some more. It's just not coming into the province until later in the afternoon. Right now, though, it's cold out there, -17 to wake us up in Regina. We do have a few flakes still in the area. -22 in Saskatoon. Winds very calm for both both cities. We're not really expecting to see a whole lot of those winds picking up across the province today. We are talking about that snow, however, though. So this is at about 4:15 p.m. You can see the province mainly looking clear from precipitation. It's into the later parts of the afternoon that we see this system making its way in from northern Alberta. Overnight, we're going to be seeing it affecting Prince Albert and Saskatoon. It's going to be late this evening, and then really into the early morning hours tomorrow. That's when we see it reaching some parts of the south. So around Regina, seeing some flurries, and then around the Yorkton area as well. And then we see most of that trying to make its way out of the province before some more snow makes its way in for Thursday. This is at about 9:15 p.m. You can see on your screen here. So we are talking about some snow for the next few days here. Current temperatures, though, it is really cold out there, folks. Stony Rapids, way up north, minus 35 right now to start the day. Minus 26 in La Ronge and Prince Albert. Minus 24 in Melfort and minus 23 in Hudson Bay. All of this to say the province is just blanketed in those cooler pink colors this morning. So definitely make sure that you're bundling up on your way out the door. Minus 20 right now in East End, minus 20 in Weyburn, and minus 22 in Estevan. Now today's forecast, again, looking below the seasonal average. Minus 13 this afternoon for Moose Jaw with a few of those flurries. Minus 15 for Weyburn, minus 17 in Yorkton and Estevan. Minus 11 expected for the Battle Forts. Again, late this afternoon, early evening, we'll be seeing a few flakes there. And minus 17 expected for Prince Albert. Wind chill going to be making it feel even colder, as we mentioned. So at that 3 o'clock time, Regina is going to be feeling like minus 22 and Saskatoon feeling like minus 24. We don't have a lot in terms of snow in our 5-day forecast here. Just going to be, again, overnight tonight and then overnight on Thursday. Once we get into our next work week, we do have some more snow projected on the way on Tuesday, but we have to get through a chilly weekend before we get there. In Saskatoon, again, overnight snow tonight, overnight snow tomorrow. Still looking forward to some more snow on Tuesday next week, but Saturday is going to be the day that we're seeing really cold temperatures, minus 22 expected with that mix of sun and cloud.
Andres, your passion for food and life is pure punk rock. We love your enthusiasm.
Journey came to an end for Regina's own, Saskatchewan's own Andres Arenado last night on MasterChef Canada. So proud of the work that this young man's done. And look at this, by the magic of television, he's actually in studio with us, not on Zoom or anything like that. Andres, thanks for doing this.
Oh, you're welcome. It's a pleasure.
I hate to re-show that, but that's part of the show, right? It's part of the experience. What did you feel when you watched it back last night?
It was, I was surrounded by around 100 people, and that helped, and I think it was closure for me. I really needed to just relive it and just experience it all again.
Was it what you expected it to be?
It was a lot more. It was surprisingly positive. It was beautiful, and I mean that's what this whole experience was about. It was just learning and becoming a better person.
How do you even prepare for something like this, a journey like this?
Oh, that's such a good question. Honestly, just so much studying. I studied everything and anything cooking related.
Take us through last night's challenge.
Last night, we had to prepare fish 2 ways, one cooked and one raw.
For a flatlander, that's a challenge.
It was very challenging. I had a Japanese fish that I've never even heard of, and it was pretty hard to work with. But, I mean, that's the name of the game, and it's very challenging, and that's what it was all about.
What did you learn about yourself through this process?
I learned that I'm really resilient. I like cooking a lot. I like the pressure. I actually do like that. And, you know, just there's so much more to learn.
And 100 people last night, you said.
Yeah.
You learned you got some support.
I have a lot of support, and it's been really beautiful being able to just see all that.
Did you feel the support throughout the course of the show from people in Saskatchewan, random people reaching out and that kind of thing?
I absolutely did. Just going to the grocery store, the gym, people saying hi and telling me that they're watching. I'm a teacher, so my entire school has been following me along the way.
And you got the time off to go do it. That's pretty unique too, right?
Yeah.
Supportive staff.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really lucky.
So what's next? Like, is your boss going to say to you tomorrow, tomorrow when you walk into work? Like, are you still work here, or are we opening up a restaurant? What are we doing?
In my class, we're doing a fundraiser, and we're going to be cooking a lot for the staff. And
give the details so people out there can support it.
Well, we're donating to Sophia House and just cooking a bunch of pizzas. That's my specialty. And we're going to have a blast. It's going to be so much fun.
Okay, well, make sure you send us the details so we can pass them on to people out there once you have everything finalized. What would you say to somebody that's sitting out there? I mean, you applied just like Josh Miller did back in the day. He applied several times to be on the show. You did as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, perseverance to get on the show. But what would you say to somebody who wants to do this?
If you're even thinking about doing this, please do it. I full-heartedly believe that it's worth all your time. It's a lot of work, but the work comes with a lot of rewards.
You keeping in touch with anybody?
Everyone. They're amazing people, and they're lifelong friends now.
I gotta love that. Thank you so much for doing this. Thanks for being part of the journey in the CTV family here.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Are you going to cook for anybody out there? Like, can we book you for private events? Things like that? Is that coming?
In the future.
It's coming one day? With the Bearded Prairie Chef.
Absolutely.
Some collab stuff.
Yeah.
You can continue to watch the MasterChef Canada for Journey. It's coming on Tuesdays on CTV and next day on Crave.
The Hudson's Bay's Royal Charter is now one step closer to remaining in the public domain. Two of Canada's richest families, the Thompson and Weston families, appear to have been successful in their bid on the document that formed the Hudson's Bay Company more than 350 years ago. They were set to jointly offer a starting bid of $18 million in an auction scheduled for today. Anyone interested in participating had to show interest by last Friday, but nobody did. So sources tell the Canadian press, with no other bids, they'll likely be named the successful buyer. The families say they plan to donate the charter to the Archives of Manitoba, the Manitoba Museum, the Canadian Museum of History, and the Royal Ontario Museum to share equally.
It's December 3rd, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Peter of Kenora as he celebrates his 75th birthday today. Your wife, Sharon, 4 daughters, and 7 grandchildren, all wishing you the best day. Enjoy. And turning 3 years old today is Draco. Happy birthday. We hope you have an awesome day with a ton of love from your mom and dad. Enjoy. If you have anything that you would like to celebrate, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or scan that QR code. We'd love to share them.
Milestones, brought to you in part by Hardin & House Chocolates, because tradition isn't just what you do, it's what you share.
All right, we lit the lights last night. Pure Country was there. It was a fantastic evening. And I assume now you're just rolling Christmas carols all day long.
Rolling Christmas carols. Actually, I'm looking. We have one coming up in 10 seconds here.
Oh, good.
And it is Glow, Kelly Clarkson, and Chris Stapleton. That is important to know. Glow, Chris Stapleton, Kelly Clarkson, because you can enter that online right now at purecountry927.ca, and that could win you some platinum country thunder tickets. Every time you hear a Christmas song, you can get entered for that. So nice and easy. We're also asking the question today. This has kind of been floating online. Thought we'd have some fun with it. What is normal to have one of, but gets kind of weird or suspicious if you have 2 of them? You can text over to 54321. Some coming in right now. If a spouse suspiciously dies, you know, once we'll give you twice. That's a little sketchy right there, but join the conversation. Text in today. We really swayed from those Christmas carols, Daryl.
Got really dark there really fast. Thanks, Jace.
Really fast. I'll see you next hour.
Bye.
We'll lighten things up.
I hope so.
Saskatoon's newest music festival will be coming to SaskTel Centre in the summer of 2026.
Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
The Grammy-nominated Jelly Roll will be headlining Outskirts Music Festival. Organizers say the event is expected to draw in 20,000 people to the grounds of Sask Center.
I think just the uniqueness of what we put together, there's a little something for everyone, and you know, I hope that people look at this lineup and just feel like, you know, they can grab a couple of artists out of here and go, man, this is for me.
Other big names on the lineup include Third Eye Blind and Cooper Allen. The festival will also feature some local Saskatchewan talent, with Widemouth Mason and Braden King both set to take the stage.
So this has been in the planning stages for 3 months now. Obviously, getting a lineup like this together takes a lot of time, and then the logistics around the site and the production and the stage and everything that goes into curating a world-class music festival. So we're really excited.
The one-day festival is set to take place on June 26th, and organizers shared the event could become an annual tradition, depending on the turnout.
Kind of a different feel and a different look for everybody to be outside. Of course, you know, kind of the first day of summer holidays for everyone, and to be outside, I think we could ask for nothing better.
Tickets for Outskirts Music Festival start at $163.50, which are set to go on sale this Friday. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
So I got a game that you guys can play at your next Christmas get-together. Take a look at this.
Ooh.
Apparently, all you got to do is spin in the circle for 30 seconds and try to step on the paper that you got in your hand. And it does not go well for these people.
Oh, spinning, I'd have no interest.
Also, how wide are the circles the guy in the khaki pants are making? Like, that's not, you turn in a tight circle, my man. What's going on?
Okay, but have you seen the videos where people do something similar where they tie water bottles to a ceiling fan that rotates like that they have in this clip?
Oh, man.
So they need to do that one.
Just smack them in the face.
Yeah.
That's a good one, too.
It's good entertainment.
Oh, reminder to check in on your single friends. They might be doing something silly like this. Oh.
All right, here's buying hard to get concert tickets is a tough time, almost like the Hunger Games.
All of a sudden, the clock struck 10, and it was a bloodbath. Everyone fighting for a tiny arena's worth of tickets. One girl even brought a bow and arrow like she was Katniss Everdeen at the cornucopia. I didn't even know what happened. I blacked out and woke up.
Chris was in charge of getting these prize tickets and lived to retell the tale. Comparing it to the hit movie, he recalls the experience like a bloodbath while people fight for a handful amount of tickets. That's what it's like on Ticketmaster these days.
This guy needs to get a real job and get out of the house.
Yeah.
Time out. We're back after this. It's Wednesday, December 3rd.
It's bad enough First Nations don't trust the government, and this makes it even worse.
Coastal chiefs are now opposing a new pipeline between Alberta and BC, demanding more consultation as the Prime Minister promises a meeting. RCMP in Leader, Saskatchewan, releasing security video in hopes of finding a suspect in a business fire they've deemed suspicious.
Resellers have been a huge problem for the industry as a whole.
And a new bill in Quebec is trying to increase transparency in the ticket resale market by clamping down on resellers. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning. Happy Wednesday.
It was a fun night last night, lighting the lights over at City Hall. Thank you to the city for having us over there. It was chilly, though.
It was chilly, a few flakes. We're still going to be seeing some more of those flakes in some places in the province today, not until the late afternoon, though.
And thank you to our viewers for coming up and saying hi to us. We appreciate that. Let's get to your forecast in just a minute. First, let's talk about Prime Minister Mark Carney promising to meet with coastal First Nations after a vote to oppose the Alberta Pipeline Agreement.
Canada can create all the MOUs, project offices, advisory groups that they want, but chiefs are united. When it comes to approving large national projects on First Nations lands, there will not be getting around rights holders.
At the Assembly of First Nations gathering in Ottawa, chiefs unanimously voted to uphold BC's northern coastal oil tanker ban and oppose the Alberta Pipeline Agreement. The Prime Minister said he will meet with coastal BC chiefs and committed to a First Nations meeting with First Nations leadership early in the new year. He also announced his government will introduce clean drinking water legislation in the spring. The Saskatchewan SPCA is raising concern about changes to animal protection services. With the current contract set to expire at the end of March, the province has opened the work to new bids. Animal Protection Services of Saskatchewan currently handles enforcement for most of the province. The Saskatchewan SPCA says it worries about a drop in funding, saying current proposals suggest roughly $500,000 less in provincial funding. And the most recent annual report from the Animal Protection Services shows officers logged enough overtime to qualify for a full-time position.
So if they're already seeing, a strained workload based off the current of dollars that have been made available to them, we aren't sure how an agency taking over would do more with less.
CTV News has reached out to the province for comment. Police across Canada have seized thousands of kilograms of drugs in a major countrywide bust.
Police officers working together from across Canada to target a sophisticated criminal organization preying on Canadians.
This operation we're talking about involved more than 100 law enforcement officers and government agencies from May to October. Police seized 386 kilograms of fentanyl, more than 1,700 kilos of methamphetamine, and nearly 6,000 kilos of cocaine. Officials also seized more than $13 million in cash. The RCMP announced more than 8,000 arrests and charges and revealed the scope of the domestic market for these drugs. Officials say less than 1% of the fentanyl seized was heading to the U.S. The U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency is buying 20 armored vehicles from Canadian defense manufacturer Rochelle. The rush order, which is reported to be worth $10 million, is for 20 Senator Stang emergency response tactical vehicles built to withstand bullets and bomb blasts. The department, which is commonly known as ICE, has been mired in controversy, including allegations of human rights abuses as it carries out President Donald Trump's campaign to expel large numbers of immigrants the administration's claims are living illegally in the U.S. RCMP and Leader Saskatchewan releasing security video in hopes of finding a suspect in a business fire they've now deemed suspicious. Here's the video on your screen. As part of the investigation, officers put a video out showing a suspect arriving at a business in Leader, breaking in and driving away in a dark-colored SUV. Mounties say it resembles a Jeep, but it may be another similar-looking SUV. This all happened on October 26th around 3 in the morning on 1st Avenue. The business was then destroyed by fire. The former director of a private Christian school has pleaded guilty to criminal charges in Saskatoon. Let's turn things over to Jeremy Dodge. Good morning.
Good morning, Daryl. Yeah, instead of going to trial yesterday, John Olababokin pleaded guilty to 5 counts of assault with a weapon. And the charges stem from 2003 while working at Christian Center Academy, now known as Valor Academy. And this comes just weeks after being sentenced and convicted of 9 counts of assault with a weapon. A sentencing hearing is scheduled for tomorrow. Saskatoon police have charged a man in connection to the death of another man who was found dead just west of Saskatoon. On June 4th, the remains of 31-year-old Chad Romansky found near Highway 7. And yesterday, members of the Saskatoon Police Service's Warrant Enforcement Unit arrested a 30-year-old man in connection to Romansky's death. He's been charged with aggravated assault, kidnapping, and first-degree murder. He is scheduled to make his first court appearance this morning. Well, a long-time Regina restaurant dishing out their frustration towards downtown parking, Daryl.
Yeah, they've seen a rise in parking ticket enforcement, they say, towards delivery drivers. Donovan Mace looked into it.
Memories Dining and Bar has operated its downtown restaurant on the corner of Victoria Avenue and Osler Street for nearly 4 decades.
It just started recently.
Each day, its location, neighboring hotel, and surrounding businesses receive deliveries, and drivers often park to unload here.
The loading zone, when we used to be from where the sign is there, all the way to the back of this tree.
Slimo says in the past year, public parking was added to the west side of Osler Street, shrinking the loading zone delivery drivers use, meaning they are forced to stop in the middle of the road.
So now you have 3 vehicles. Right now there's only 2, but it's big enough for 3. for people to park.
And those deliveries often take longer than the allotted 10 minutes this sign says they have to unload.
The deliveries could take half hour to an hour, just depending on the load.
Slimo says parking attendants constantly monitor the space at times, even using a stopwatch, timing how long a truck sits in the spot before issuing a ticket.
I feel for our business too, and for the drivers, and they're frustrated too.
In response to CTV News, the city of Regina says all loading zones are time limited to promote vehicle turnover, and where feasible, extended loading zones are placed near alleyways to accommodate larger vehicles for loading and unloading. Adding the city also has conversations with individual businesses to create ad hoc solutions when possible. But Memories believes the solution is quite simple. Remove the public parking to restore the loading zone's former size and for attendants to be more gracious.
They're writing tickets all over the city. The downtown is already a struggle for a lot of people. So we need to promote to bring people downtown, not to scare them away because they're worried to park.
Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
Swift Current Broncos find themselves mired in a 6-game losing skid.
Who steals it right back from him. Onto the stick of crap. Back for Toll. Gives it to McCaverty. He scores!
The Wenatchee Wild scored 4 times in the second period en route to a 7-2 win over the Broncos last night. Broncos currently last place in the WHL East and face the Tri-City Americans tonight. City of Regina kicked off the holiday season with the annual Light the Lights.
3, 2, 1.
Light the Lights taking place in front of City Hall last night. Mayor and Council lighting up the courtyard, and the performances on the stage were fantastic. Kayleen and I were out there to host that along with Janelle Lippi. Let's hear from the mayor on what he thought.
Well, it's the tradition. That's a big one for me. But ultimately, it brings people together. You know, as it starts to get colder, it's nice to do something that warms people up a little bit, brings people together, and celebrate the holidays.
At one point last night, Kaylee and I looked over, and the mayor had as long a lineup as the Mean One did for a picture.
I know, and you know what? I saw the Mean One. The Grinch was holding a baby kind of sideways, and Janelle and I were looking like, does he know how to hold a baby? So if that was you, can you send us how that picture turned out?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'd love to see that. Let's turn our attention now to the weather picture, though, because sun not quite up yet. We're not really going to be seeing that for about another hour and a half, but temperatures are really cold this morning, -16 right now in Regina. If you can believe, it's actually a bit of an improvement from what we saw just a few minutes ago. Winds very calm this morning, coming in at 9 kilometers per hour. And we have been seeing the lightest little bit of flakes in the Regina area this morning. Not going to be continuing on into our afternoon, but we are expecting to see some more of that snow throughout the overnight hours. -23 right now to wake us up in Saskatoon, so definitely a cold start to the day throughout central Saskatchewan. Winds right now at 13 kilometers per hour, and just a few clouds up in the sky to start the day. Now, the early parts of the afternoon, we're only seeing some cloud cover throughout the province, but then it's in the later parts of the afternoon, close to 5 o'clock actually, that we see that system way up north start to enter the province from northern Alberta. That's going to be tracking down towards the south throughout the evening and overnight hours. Right around 11:30, as you can see, the snow will be falling in the areas around Prince Albert and Saskatoon. And then it's going to be tracking southeast, heading over to Yorkton, around the Parkland region there, and down through Regina into the early morning hours for tomorrow. Throughout the afternoon hours, we do see a lot of that system has moved into Manitoba, but then we see another system making its way in from Alberta, impacting the southwest tomorrow afternoon and into tomorrow evening as well. So Swift Current going to be seeing some more of those flurries tomorrow. Total snowfall by the end of the day today. Well, Saskatoon expects about 1 centimeter in the Battlefords, and Prince Albert expecting just a little bit more, 2 centimeters of snow. By tomorrow morning, we do see some of those numbers go up, though, especially for Regina and Yorkton, because again, it's not going to be until the late overnight hours and into early tomorrow that we see that snow falling for us in Regina. So about 2 centimeters by 9:30 a.m. tomorrow for Regina, and about 3 centimeters expected for Yorkton. As you can see, current temperatures across the province, or across the country rather this morning. We're seeing that the temperatures are cold throughout parts of the prairie. So minus 23 to wake us up in Winnipeg. All those areas lit up in blue are just a little bit warmer this morning, including Vancouver. That's sitting at 5 degrees right now. And if you're wondering what the afternoon is going to look like, well, again, cold compared to that average, considering that the average for this time of year is about minus 6. And Moose Jaw peaking at minus 13 this afternoon. Weyburn about minus 15, minus 17 for Estevan and Yorkton. Regina minus 14 and Saskatoon minus 15. But again, keeping in mind wind chill going to be making it feel colder this afternoon. Time now for a look at our rural forecast. We're seeing cold temperatures this afternoon. Spiritwood minus 13, minus 15 for Watrous, minus 11 for Outlook, and minus 17 for Wynyard. Now, throughout the afternoon, we are going to be seeing a mix of sun and cloud. It's late in the afternoon and into those overnight hours that the central part of the province could be seeing some more of those flurries. Minus 4 this afternoon down in the south for Maple Creek. Rockland minus 13, minus 15 for Coronach, and minus 16 expected this afternoon for Broadview and Carlisle. Again, a mix of sun and cloud for the afternoon. Let's take a look at Borden, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from Sasktel. Minus 14 is that expected afternoon high. We do have the possibility of seeing some of those overnight flurries and south winds coming in up to 30 kilometers per hour.
All right, let's go back out now to Mike Siona, who I believe has shifted from toys to gifts for adults at Lee Valley. Mike, what do you see?
Are you talking to me, Jeremy? Yeah, I'll tell you, I was just going through the Lee Valley Christmas catalog, which, by the way, is now available here in stores and online. Really, really cool stuff in here, and it's kind of like being at the store, which is where we are here in Saskatoon with Angela Wilson. I'll tell you what, Canadian-owned company, and you guys have gifts for adults of all shapes and sizes.
We definitely do, yeah. So this table is featuring some of the Christmas magic that you want to feel in your home, as well as the elegance of the dinner that you're going to be serving. One of my favorites is the knives. They are weighted knives with a serrated edge. Elegant for your Christmas table. The guests will really feel the quality of it, as well as the salt and pepper shakers and such. And then for your Christmas, the tinsel that's on the counter here shimmers in the lights of your Christmas tree to try to give it a little bit of that feel as well. And a magic light that you can touch to turn your lights on. But one of my personal favorites is our leather bells. When you ring those, it sounds like Santa's on his way.
Well, you know what we have to do. We gotta sample that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It gives that. Everybody, probably when you're in the store here, like, heads must just turn. Like, Santa's at Lee Valley today.
Yeah, you're correct. That's for sure. Yeah, bring the spirit of magic, the magic back to Christmas. That's what we're trying to do.
That is fantastic. So many cool little gift ideas. Obviously, a full line of hand tools and power tools and expertise and woodworking stuff as well.
Of course, definitely. We can help you find gifts for anybody on your list. That's for sure.
I absolutely love it. Of course, find them online. Look for this, the Christmas catalog. If you haven't got yours in your mailbox, just come on down to the store. They have them here. It is chock full of great ideas. And we'll be talking about what else you can get for your holiday haul as the morning continues.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. We'll see you again in just a little while.
Matt Scooby in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. And for it, we head to Florida. Maple Leafs Panthers Austin Matthews finds Nicholas Waugh, who is robbed by the blocker of Sergei Bobrovsky. What a save, getting across to keep that puck out of the net. A fantastic save, the best of the day. That is your must-see moment. And tonight on TSN, we've got a PWHL doubleheader. First up, the Golden Knights face the Fleet. Then the Sirens will square off with the Torrent. Coverage begins 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Well, a rare set of the famous Four Seasons paintings are being auctioned off this week in London. If you're an art lover, you might be interested in this. These are not the original set, but a valuable 16th century version, previously owned by the Queen of Bohemia.
Oh.
Not to be not to be confused with the Rhapsody. This set is expected to sell for about $22 million, which is roughly half of what we pay Jeremy Dodge every year. The paintings are a highlight to the Classic Week events hosted by Christie's Auction House in London.
This again begs the question, would you spend the money on this if you had it? $22 million.
I'll buy you a lot of cars.
I have never heard of these. I think I've seen them, maybe one or two. These aren't famous to me anyway.
They're very aesthetically pleasing. I mean, I very much like the look of them, but I agree with you, Jeremy, that I haven't really heard of them before.
I'll pass.
Okay.
I'll just
I never knew you to be an art snob. Yeah.
I am now. I just became one in this very moment.
He's got the eye,
There I am.
folks.
I've got the eye, and it's not on that. Question of the day, my eye might be on snacks later.
Yeah, so we're asking you today, what is your favorite Christmas appetizer or snack? The first answer that we had roll in was, I look forward to cheese ball.
I see what you did there.
I thought it was a typo. I thought that they meant cheese balls, like the small appetizer balls, but then I looked it up. It is literally just one giant ball of cheese that you can dip anything in.
Well, yeah, and then what country is that they chase it down a hill?
Oh.
Remember that?
Yeah.
No, that's a wheel.
That's a wheel. Oh, that's right. That's a wheel. That's a wheel.
Yeah. And Bits and Bites, my mom used to make Bits and Bites too for Christmas and put them in the little Christmas tins, so that's nostalgic. Debbie's saying my favorite Christmas appetizer is the bacon-wrapped water chestnut. How good does that sound? I've never had one, but I want one now.
That sounds nuts.
Debbie, invite me over. Kim saying snack called junk. It's golden graham cereal, almonds, and white melting wafers. Simple, but so good. My aunts made it when I was a kid, and now it's a favorite of my kids, plus my friends. That also sounds really good. I like the idea that it's white chocolate. Sounds delicious. Tracy's saying my favorite snacks are any kind of homemade cookies. A classic at Christmas time. So we want to hear from you, though. We're hopefully going to share some more answers in about 1 hour. So text us your answer. What's your favorite Christmas appetizer or snack? 10400. Standard message rates may apply. And you can also scan that QR code on your screen. Let us know.
The year was 2010, and Saskatchewan is capturing attention on the hardwood. The University of Saskatchewan Huskies men's basketball team made it to the U Sports Final 8 tournament and put on a clinic. A roster with the likes of Michael Linklater and Sharon Glover led the Huskies past the Windsor Lancers, and then they downed the powerful Carleton Ravens in the semifinal. They reached the championship game against UBC, who had only lost one game during the regular season. The Huskies were up by 4 after the first quarter and would dominate from there, with Troy Gottslig notching 22 points and Linklater adding 20 as the Huskies went on to win 91-81. Saskatchewan was on top of the college basketball world, the U of S Huskies becoming the first and so far only Saskatchewan college men's team to ever become national basketball champion. And if you want to check out more classic sports moments from the days of Wilco and wood finish televisions, you can check them out on our website.
Time once again for your morning mystery. Whiteboards ready. It is a song today, we are told. 3 clues. Try to guess along with us. Christmas song was written by J. Fred Coots and Haven Gillespie in 1934.
That gives me nothing.
Nailed it.
Nope.
First known recording of the song was made by banjo player Harry Reeser and his band. And finally, over 200 artists have sung it, including Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, the Jackson 5, Bruce Springsteen, and Michael Bublé. Okay.
There's so many different...
This could be 100 things.
This could be so many.
Okay, I'm gonna go...
I'm just gonna take a stab with a Christmas classic.
That's
I don't know if I believe in my...
I
don't know if I believe in my answer.
I have no clue. I'm going with the old faithful.
What did you do?
I said White Christmas.
Oh, so did I. Hey, Santa Claus is coming to town. That was today's morning mystery.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
Your school day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina right now, -16. Colder through Saskatoon, though, -23. Bundle up a little extra out there this morning. By lunchtime in Regina, -18. We are expecting to see some sunshine at that time. And by lunchtime in Saskatoon, -21. Final bell, both cities at those expected daytime highs. For Regina, that's -14. And for Saskatoon, that is -15. A mix of sun and cloud with low winds only coming in up to about 20 kilometers per hour. As we go to break, let's take a look at those gas prices. The common price in Regina this morning is $127.9, but the lowest you might find is $102.9. In Saskatoon, the common price $119.9, but the lowest you might find is $114.9. Over to the farm markets now, where we find the street price of canola at $584.02 per ton and the futures price at $658.40 per ton. Amber Durham wheat now at $285.94 per ton and red spring wheat at $252.59 per ton. And the Canadian dollar trading down this morning. It's now at 71.50 cents US. After the break, winter storms batter the East Coast. We'll have the details for you. Stay with us.
Good morning. Welcome to your morning. It is 7:30. Communities like Yorkton and Esterhazy can expect a growth in educational mining programs as the Mosaic company is investing $4 million into high school and post-secondary institutions. It's in an effort to increase Saskatchewan's mining workforce. Mosaic partnering with Good Spirit School Division, Suncrest College, and Saskatchewan Polytech, each receiving at least $1 million in funding. Money for a potash mining readiness program for Indigenous students was also announced by expanding its training programs in Mosaic's home mining communities. The potash company says more opportunities for rural and Indigenous students will be provided.
Right now, we really need to build our entire workforce pipeline for our industry, and in order to do that, we have to start early while the students are in high school, but then also look at the in-demand trades that we're going to need now and in the future. So partnering with folks like Suncrest and Sask Polytech are really going to help us fulfill our workforce strategy.
Mosaic's mine in Esterhazy is the company's largest potash operation with the capacity to deliver 7.8 million tons. City of Moose Jaw has parted ways with its city manager after 2.5 years. The City of Moose Jaw released a statement for Mayor James Murdoch yesterday, thanking Marcy Carmichael for her leadership and extending best wishes for future success. Carmichael was a former Snowbird pilot, the first female to fly the famous jet. Chief of Staff Rhonda Smizniak will take over on an interim basis. Yesterday marked Giving Tuesday, a day dedicated to generosity and community support, and the Saskatoon Food Bank and Learning Centre marked the occasion with a major boost. Carla Shinkarak reports.
We're happy to donate $10,000 on behalf of our members to the Saskatoon Food Bank today.
At the Saskatoon Food Bank and Learning Centre, their annual Light It Up campaign kicked off on Giving Tuesday with a big helping hand. It's thanks to members of UFCW Locals, a check presented for $10,000, the money raised by workers across Saskatchewan.
I think for us it's important to show that unions also, the solidarity that unions show extends beyond the workplace into the community.
Union leaders say rising costs have left even steady wage earners stretched thin.
Our members that we represent here in Saskatoon, PA, Regina, they have full-time jobs. They're using the food bank. So that's why, with us and National, we've come across this, and that's why we're doing this donation.
At the food bank, the need continues to climb month after month, but they're counting on this holiday campaign, their biggest of the year.
Despite everyone feeling the crunch for the cost of living, we're seeing folks come out in droves to already support us in this campaign.
So for For some perspective on what donations mean here, that $10,000 will cover 7,000 of these containers of milk.
In our food bank program, we're seeing over 23,000 people a month, probably putting out 8,500 hampers a month, and that's a big strain on our resources.
On a day built around giving back, for the food bank, this contribution is more than a donation. It's a reminder that community support keeps their doors open and shelves stocked. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Let's talk snow and the first big snowstorm of the season hitting Atlantic Canada right now.
Last winter, 5 of the 6 storms, we were below 75% of our deliverables. So we have several measures putting in place this year to increase that service standard for the community.
There are orange level snowfall warnings in effect in Cape Breton and parts of Newfoundland, which could see up to 50 centimeters of snow. Ferry crossings between PEI and Nova Scotia are closed. Schools are canceled, the whole deal like that. The cities in the region have already been getting ready for the snowstorm. St. John had 46 plows ready to go. The Halifax airport is trying to keep disruptions to a minimum. In the U.S., a nor'easter has moved up the East Coast and left a trail of damage behind in the U.S. In West Virginia, rescue crews had to save a truck driver as a cab dangled. Look at your screen. It's just dangerous. State troopers in Pennsylvania say they've responded to more than 600 collisions. Logan Airport in Boston was at a ground stop last night. That's been lifted, but there are still delays this morning. Kayleen will have your forecast coming up in just a moment. Quebec has now tabled legislation targeting ticket resellers. The bill would require resellers to let buyers know if tickets could be found cheaper somewhere else. Resellers also have to disclose information on which seats are being sold, the original ticket price, and the name of the previous ticket owner. Tickets can only be resold for a profit with permission from the event producer. The bill also sets limits on automatic subscription renewals. Saskatchewan health officials are widening access to HIV self-testing kits. The Saskatchewan Health Authority says better access to test kits will help with both HIV awareness and reducing the stigma around testing. Kits can be picked up by members of the public at a variety of SHA locations, including public health clinics, community support providers, and more. Full list on the SHA's website. The kits only require a small blood sample to deliver accurate results within 1 minute. Positive results need to be confirmed through additional in-person testing. Last week's warm weather benefited Canadian Western Agribition. They broke an attendance record. This year's show welcomed over 151,000 visitors, making it the largest to date. 3 sold-out rodeo nights like you're seeing on your screen. That helped, along with a number of school-age programs running through. The 55th edition runs next November, planning already underway. Country Thunder in Craven is the big Saskatchewan summer music event, but now it's not the only one. A new one's coming to Saskatoon. Hallie Mandrick with that.
Saskatoon's newest music festival will be coming to Sask Tel Centre in the summer of 2026.
Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
The Grammy-nominated Jelly Roll will be headlining Outskirts Music Festival. Organizers say the event is expected to draw in 20,000 people to the grounds of Sask Tel Centre.
I think just the uniqueness of what we put together, there's a little something for everyone, and you know, I hope that people look at this lineup and just feel like, you know, they can grab a couple of artists out of here and go, man, this is for me.
Other big names on the lineup include Third Eye Blind and Cooper Allen. The festival will also feature some local Saskatchewan talent, with Widemouth Mason and Braden King both set to take the stage.
So this has been in the planning stages for 3 months now. Obviously, getting a lineup like this together takes a lot of time, and then the logistics around the site and the production and the stage and everything that goes into curating a world-class music festival. So we're really excited.
The one-day festival is set to take place on June 26th, and organizers shared the event could become an annual tradition, depending on the turnout.
Kind of a different feel and a different look for everybody to be outside. Of course, you know, kind of the first day of summer holidays for everyone, and to be outside, I think we could ask for nothing better.
Tickets for Outskirts Music Festival start at $163.50, which are set to go on sale this Friday. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
CFL news this morning. The Toronto Argonauts have gone in-house for their new head coach. Mike Miller served as the team's quarterback coach for the past 4 seasons, winning the Grey Cup in 22 and 24. 55-year-old from Pittsburgh has an extensive coaching career, experience in the CFL, NFL, XFL, and in Europe. Miller was the offensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals and later had the same roles with the Alouettes. He succeeds Ryan Dinwiddie, who left the Argos to become the head coach and GM of Ottawa last month. Let's turn our attention to the weather picture and some frigid temperatures right across the province.
Yeah, it's a cold one out there this morning, Daryl. We're seeing temperatures even into this afternoon are going to be below that seasonal average, and not by a little bit. They're going to be quite a significant amount below that seasonal average today. So it's not the day for a light jacket. Bundle up today. Minus 16 right now to wake us up in Regina. We do have a few flakes that are still in the area carried over from yesterday's system. That's not really going to be impacting us into the afternoon today, but overnight Regina is going to be seeing some more of those flurries. In Saskatoon, colder right now, minus 23, a few clouds to start the day, and pretty low winds right now at 13 kilometers per hour. Those winds not really going to be increasing all too much for the afternoon. We do see a system, as we mentioned, though, making its way into northern Saskatchewan first for the late afternoon hours. This is at about 5:15 p.m. right now that you're looking at on your screen. And then watch as that system tracks down towards the south. Prince Albert and Saskatoon going to be seeing it late this evening, and then down through Regina and Yorkton going to be seeing it into the early morning hours tomorrow. So although Regina, again, not expecting it throughout the afternoon hours, definitely going to be seeing some of those flakes overnight. Then we see another system making its way into the north for Thursday late afternoon, early evening, and also seeing some of that down in Swift Current tomorrow as well. So be prepared for some more flurries on the way for tomorrow. Cold start to the day, as we mentioned, especially up north. Stony Rapids now at minus 35. La Ronge at minus 27 right now, minus 28 in South End, minus 23 in Melfort and Hudson Bay. Down towards the south, a little bit warmer, still not warm, but warmer than what we're seeing up north. Minus 14 in Swift Current right now, minus 15 in Assiniboia, minus 24 to wake us up in Estevan. Later on this afternoon, again, seeing temperatures below that seasonal average. The warmest spots we're seeing are down in the southwest, where Swift Current is reaching minus 8, but still keeping in mind that the average for this time of year is about minus 6. So all those areas surrounding Estevan only reaching minus 17, Yorkton minus 16, Prince Albert minus 17, going to be far below that seasonal average today. Wind chill making it feel colder. So at 3 p.m. when we are expected to be reaching those afternoon highs, Regina could be feeling more like minus 22 and Saskatoon feeling more like minus 24. More snow on the way, not only just tonight overnight, but also tomorrow overnight. And then a cold weekend, Saturday in particular, minus 18 for Regina. Some more flurries on the way for our next work week. Most likely on Tuesday. In Saskatoon, more of the same. So overnight snow tonight, overnight snow tomorrow, and then some more snow on the way for our next work week on Tuesday. The weekend is going to be chilly again, especially Saturday, minus 22 with that mix of sun and clouds.
Wardrobe consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop, defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
Let's talk Cougars women's basketball and FIBA basketball as we welcome in the star of the Cougars program, Jade Belmore, and the head coach, Michaela Kleisinger, as well. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to start with you, Jade, because you just won a silver medal. What does it feel like to get the call to represent Canada and to go over there and do it?
It was awesome. You know, when I got that call, a little unfortunate timing, I will say. Just missing a Cougar game, I did not want to do that, but I just had a conversation with Michaela, and she was also thrilled to send me and to do that. So I was ecstatic to go.
It's awesome for the program to have one of your stars go over and do this, right? Like there she is in the walkout.
Yeah, look at her. I mean, she dances like that at our games too. So
I've seen it.
But yeah, of course, like Jade said, Canada calls, you're not going to say no, right? I mean, of course, she represents us very, very well, so happy to send her, and she did the thing.
We'll show more video of that that we just saw. Just tell us the difference between the styles, because 3-on-3 is a very different game.
Yes, I also found that a little bit difficult, switching from 5-on-5 to 3-on-3 really quick. The ball is different, which is also, it makes it tough to kind of, you got to get into the gym and shoot with that ball a little bit more if you're going to the 3-on-3 game. It's also very fast-paced, so I think that translation, it goes hand in hand with 5-on-5 and 3-on-3. I think it complements each other, but also very, very different.
Does this help the program, having somebody like this come back into the program? And I mean, she's the all-time leading scorer. Of course, it helps, right? But to bring that experience back, bring that experience back and onto the court for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I literally texted Jade while she was there and said, just go learn things and bring them back to us, right? Like, she's playing with some of the best 3-on-3 players ever, right, for our country. So just so much learning, and then comes back and brings not only that knowledge but that intensity to our practices, right? So of course it helps us.
And as you guys continue to win games and climb up the rankings nationally, I think you're at what, 6 now?
7.
6, 7. You just let me do it. You just let me do it. It's awesome though. Like, you've taken over this program from Dave. You've been able to gain and even build on the momentum. What's been so special about this year's group?
I mean, honestly, like, I just love going to work every day. Like, the girls are so phenomenal. They work so hard. They care so much about each other. And I think really just, we've got a bit of an older group now, and I think they're just really committed to their success and, like, seeing success for, yes, themselves, but I think the thing that's really shifted is just success for their teammates. We talk about the other night we had 24 assists, right? Like, they're just passing to each other for so many better looks and scoring opportunities, and the scoring is so balanced, and I think that's really made the change.
Jade, how do you keep it going? That's the challenge, right?
That is a great question.
Outside of staying healthy, how do you keep it going?
That is a good question. I think, honestly, I'm trying to take it day by day right now. This is my 6th year, so it is a lot. I think for sure some days I start to be like, oh, it might be getting close to the time for 5-on-5 and my time with the Cougars, but it's just taking care of my body and taking care of my mind and taking it day by day too, and also enjoying it. I think that's the biggest part of just like I want to go to practice every day, and I want to be with my teammates who are also my really close friends, and that's just what keeps me going.
Remind people when the next home game is.
Oh, not till the middle of January, late January. Wow. Yeah, so catch us on the road. Ken West TV. And
tickets are on sale as well, and you get this brand new merchandise. Regina Cougars, cougarsandrams.com, brand new website. Here's what's happening in our community. A pierogi and sausage supper happens Wednesday, December 3rd at 4:30 p.m. over at St. Joseph's Church, 201 4th Avenue East in Kenora. Christmas Craft and Trade Show happening December 5th from 5 to 8 p.m. and again on December 6th from 10 to 3 over at the Lumsden Centennial Hall. Call 306-529-2165 for more. Old Time Dance happens Friday, December 5th at 7:30 p.m. out in Weyburn at Cecilia's Banquet Hall. For more, call 306-861-9929. A Christmas Long Ago, December 6th and 7th at 10 a.m. over the Western Development Museum, Moose Jaw. That's 50 Diefenbaker Drive. Call 306-693-5989. Finally, Brick Stories Lego Show and Sale, December 6th and 7th at 10 a.m. at the White City Community Center. Admission is just $5. If you'd like your event shown here, email us, reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca, at least 2 weeks in advance.
It's December 3rd, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Peter of Kenora as he celebrates his 75th birthday today. Your wife, Sharon, 4 daughters, and 7 grandchildren, all wishing you the best day. Enjoy. And turning 3 years old today is Draco. Happy birthday. We hope you have an awesome day. Lots of love coming from your mom and dad. Enjoy. If you have anything that you would like to celebrate, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca. You can also scan that QR code on your screen right now. Please make sure you send those in one day in advance.
Milestones, brought to you in part by Hardin & House Chocolates, because tradition isn't just what you do, it's what you share.
You find Vecna? We end this once and for all. together. Stranger Things is coming to the big screen. Netflix has announced that the Stranger Things finale will screen in over 500 movie theaters across the U.S. and Canada from December 31st through January 1st. Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga's Die With a Smile is the #1 most popular song this year among YouTube subscribers. Bruno Mars also tops the list for most popular songs on Apple Music with singer Rosie and their hit APT. Amazon Music's list was unranked but included songs from K-pop Demon Hunters.
What a nice sunny day. Nice and sunny.
The stars of Bluey are coming to Disney parks and cruises next year. The real life-size characters Bluey and Bingo will be at Disneyland in March, Disney World in the summer, and also onboard select domestic Disney cruises. Disney is the parent company of ABC News. And before he was an Academy Award winner, he was saving us from the Mummy. Happy birthday to Brendan Fraser, who turns 57 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News.
Quick, what's your favorite Brendan Fraser movie? Mine's The Mummy. Oh,
Encino Man.
Blast from the Past. That's also good.
That was very good too, but no, it's got to be Encino Man. Or what is the one with Adam Sandler, Airheads?
Also good.
That one.
His birthday's today. Yours was a couple of days ago. Happy birthday.
No, thank you very much. No, almost had the Brendan Fraser birthday. Almost. So close, but so far. Today, we just played Shake the Tree here, too. And congratulations, Cassidy shook out some great prizes, including passes to the CCMAs. Knew when to walk away, so it didn't timber over. And she got to keep all of the prizes. Now, next play, 4:40 this afternoon with Brandon. I'll have the next one for you is 7:40 tomorrow morning. We do have our Country Minute on the way, too. Lainey Wilson, one of our headliners for Country Thunder, working on a very cool project involving Aerosmith and Youngblood. So we'll get you a little preview of what those three have in store for us.
Here's a game you can try at your next Christmas get-together. So all you gotta do is spin in a circle, step on the paper. Easy, right?
Looks easy. It sounds easy. They don't make it look easy.
No, it doesn't.
Pretty hard for the...
Spinning in a circle? No chance.
Pretty hard for the guy in the lime green khaki pants, whatever color that is. That's a pretty wide circle there, my friend. That's a wide burst you got going on there.
Specify. Yeah, whatever. It still works.
Oh,
obviously. He goes hard.
She took a tumble.
Everyone's going down.
Okay, Kayleen, we got to try this now. We're gonna
All
try
right, we'll do that after.
I'll get us some paper.
Okay, well, you've heard of the Backstreet Boys, but what about the Back Sheep Boys?
Oh, no.
Everybody, rock your body. Everybody.
No way. Is that real?
It honestly sounds pretty good.
That's so good.
Yeah.
This reminds me of my favorite all-time internet video, which is that Taylor Swift one where the goat cuts in. I knew you were trolling.
Right. You always say it's a monkey one, though.
I also like the monkey sniffing his finger after scratching his butt. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay.
It's funny, though.
You have a few favorite.
Timeout. More news ahead after this short timeout. Okay, let's find some paper. It's Wednesday, December 3rd.
It's bad enough First Nations don't trust the government, and this makes it even worse.
Respect. Coastal Chiefs now opposing a new pipeline between Alberta and BC, demanding more consultation. RCMP in Leader, Saskatchewan, releasing security video in the hopes of finding a suspect in a business fire they've now deemed suspicious.
He steals it right back from him. Onto the stick of crap. Back for Toll. Gives it to McCaberty. He scores!
Current Broncos find themselves mired in a 6-game losing skid. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen, and I'm dizzy because what did we just do?
We tried it. I got the video. Man.
It's harder than it looks. The spinning and trying to jump on the paper thing, it's harder than it looks.
To say Jeremy was right, but he was absolutely right. Let's get to news. I'll try to pull that video in for you. We'll show it for you in a couple of minutes if we got it. Let's start with this. Donald Trump's Secretary of Defense, or Secretary of War as he calls it, Pete Hegseth, is trying to distance himself from a controversial attack on a suspected drug boat in the Caribbean. Joy Malbin reports.
No apologies from this White House as the Pentagon faces growing accusations of a possible war crime after an alleged drug boat off the Venezuela coast in September was bombed a second time while survivors clung to the burning wreckage. After telling Fox News,
we knew exactly who was in that boat. We knew exactly what they were doing.
Secretary of War Pete Hegseth now says he did not watch all of it.
I did not personally see survivors, but I stand because the thing was on fire. It was exploded in fire and smoke. You can't see anything. You got digital. This is called the fog of war. This is what you in the press don't understand.
Hegseth says he didn't stick around to see the mission completed, but acting on his authority, confirmed by the White House Monday, Hegseth says his Navy commander, Admiral Mitch Bradley, directed the second strike. But the Washington Post is reporting that order from Hegseth himself was to, quote, kill everybody on board.
Hegseth chose to throw Admiral Bradley under the bus. Shame on Pete Hegseth. He is a coward. He must resign.
The president went on to say his drug war will soon expand to take place on land.
I hear Colombia, the country of Colombia, is making cocaine. Anybody that's doing that and selling it into our country is subject to attack.
So not necessarily just Venezuela.
No, not just Venezuela, no.
The controversial strikes have killed more than 80 people. With no evidence of drug running, lawmakers from both parties want answers.
I think both strikes are actually illegal. I don't think you can just name people and say, well, they've got drugs. Well, where's the proof?
Both the president and Hegseth remain defiant lawmakers. We'll hear from Admiral Bradley when they meet behind closed doors on Thursday. Joy Malbin, CTV News, Washington.
The federal government is pledging more aid to Ukraine this morning. Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand making the announcement in Brussels, where she's meeting with other NATO ministers to talk about the U.S.-initiated Ukraine-Russia peace deal.
Canada's contribution to the purchase of this Pearl package will be $200 million, bringing Canada's total contribution to $890 million over the past 6 months.
Total, today's contribution from Canada is $235 million. The funding will allow NATO to provide Ukraine with medical supplies, communications tools, and support measures to rebuild critical defense infrastructure. Global Affairs Canada says Ottawa has committed nearly $22 billion in funding for Ukraine since Russia invaded the country in 2022. RCMP and Leader releasing security video in the hopes of finding a suspect in a business fire they've now deemed suspicious. Here's the video as part of the investigation. Officers put it out, showing a suspect arriving at a business in Leader, Saskatchewan, breaking in and leaving in a dark-colored SUV. Mounties say it resembles a Jeep, but may be another SUV with a similar look. This all happened October 26th around 3 in the morning on 1st Avenue. The business was then destroyed by fire. The former director of a private Christian school in Saskatoon has now pleaded guilty to criminal charges. Jeremy Dodge, what's the latest?
Daryl, instead of going to trial yesterday, John Olababokin did plead guilty to 5 counts of assault with a weapon. The charges stem from 2003 while working at Christian Center Academy, now known as Valor Academy. And it comes just weeks after being sentenced and convicted of 9 counts of assault with a weapon. A sentencing hearing is scheduled for tomorrow. The Saskatoon police have charged a man in connection to the death of another man who was found dead just west of Saskatoon. It was on June 4th. The remains of 31-year-old Chad Romansky were found near Highway 7. Yesterday, members of the Saskatoon Police Service's Warrant Enforcement Unit arrested a 30-year-old man in connection to Romansky's death. He's been charged with aggravated assault, kidnapping, and first-degree murder. Scheduled to make his first court appearance this morning. Well, Daryl, downtown parking issues rearing their head in Regina.
Regina Restaurant is now raising the issue after recent crackdowns toward delivery drivers parked in loading zones.
The loading zone, when we used to be from where the sign is there, all the way to the back of this tree.
Now, Memories Fine Dining and Bar operated its downtown location nearly 4 decades. If you're in this area, you know it. Owners say the added public parking has squished the loading zone, no longer making it accessible for many of its drivers. The 10-minute loading zone is also, they say, not enough time for stops. Often they take up to an hour, even maybe longer.
They want people to come downtown, but they are very aggressive. They're following each other. They're writing tickets all over the city. The downtown is already a struggle for a lot of people. So we need to promote to bring people downtown, not to scare them away because they're worried to park.
Memories would like to see public parking spaces removed and public attendance more gracious toward drivers actively working in loading zones. We did reach out to the city. We're waiting for a response. Swift Current Broncos mired in a 6-game losing skid.
He steals it right back from him. Onto the stick of crap. Back for Toll. Gives it to McCaverty. He scores!
The Wenatchee Wild scored 4 times in the second period en route to a 7-2 win over the Broncos last night, who are currently last place in the WHL East. They are facing the Tri-City Americans tonight. It's official. The Toronto Blue Jays have signed pitcher Dylan Cease in a move meant to bolster the team's starting rotation. The club announced they came to terms on a deal with the right-hander for $210 million. It's 7 years. That's the largest free agent contract in franchise history. He recorded a 4.55 ERA and 215 strikeouts in 32 starts with the Padres last season. It was his 5th consecutive campaign with more than 200 strikeouts. The 29-year-old has spent 7 seasons in the MLB and finished in the top 5 in Cy Young voting twice in his career. And the Blue Jays also reportedly finalizing a contract with another pitcher, right-hander Cody Ponce, who spent last season playing in South Korea. He posted a record of 17-1 and was the MVP of the KBO League. The 31-year-old last played in the majors with Pittsburgh in 2021. His pending deal with the Jays is reportedly about worth $30 million over 3 seasons. That's according to ESPN. City kicked off the holiday season with the annual Light the Lights last night.
3, 2, 1.
The kids get to press the button. The lights go on. It's a big, exciting time. They had dancers. Kaylee and Janelle and I were down there to host the event. Here's the mayor on it all.
Well, it's the tradition. That's a big one for me. But ultimately, it brings people together. As it starts to get colder, it's nice to do something that warms people up a little bit, brings people together, and celebrate the holidays.
The celebration featured a lot of local performances, and man, these people, they braved the cold, Kayleen, because it was not, especially the young group, the Filipino dancers, they were incredibly cute.
I do want to say, though, they were absolutely so adorable, but I do want to say there was one person that came up to me and was blaming me for the weather.
Perfect.
And I was just like, I just read it. I don't
Start the hashtag blame Kayleen.
Yeah, blame Kayleen for all the bad weather. I'm sorry, I just read the radars. I don't manipulate them. Let's turn our attention now to the weather picture, though. The sun still fully not up yet this morning. We're waiting for that in about 30 minutes time. Here we're at -16 in Regina. A few flakes in the area to start the day. We're not really going to be seeing any more of those flurries into the afternoon, but we are going to be seeing them into the overnight hours and early tomorrow for Regina, at least. Saskatoon going to be seeing them a little bit earlier on than Regina, but still going to be late into the evening. Today, the afternoon, just going to be a mix of sun and cloud. -25 right now, though, to start the day in Saskatoon, so temperatures have been fluctuating down. It's a really cold start to the day out there. You are going to want to bundle up. Thankfully, the wind not really contributing to that. We're seeing very low wind speeds to start the day, so it could be worse. It's cold, but it could be worse. Futurecast showing that system making its way in from the north. Going to start tracking down towards the southeast in the late afternoon, early evening hours, and then overnight, Prince Albert going to be seeing some of those flurries. Saskatoon going to be seeing some of those flurries, and then down through Regina and Yorkton, mainly into early tomorrow morning now. Then we see that system trying to push out of the province, just a few little blips on the radar there still. And then seeing some more flurries make its way into the southwest and the far north as we look towards tomorrow, late afternoon, early evening hours. By the end of the day today, we're expecting Battlefords and Prince Albert to see about 2 centimeters of snow. Saskatoon, about 1 more centimeter going to be falling. And then as we look forward to tomorrow morning, Regina and Yorkton going to be seeing about 1 centimeter of snow. Current temperatures now, take a look at that number at the top of your screen. Stony Rapids right now at minus 34 to start the day, minus 29 in South End, minus 27 in La Ronge, and minus 23 for Prince Albert, Nipawin, Melfort, and Hudson Bay. Minus 19 in Spiritwood. Down towards the south, we're seeing warmer temperatures, still not warm, but warmer than way up north. Minus 14 for East End, minus 15 for Assiniboia, minus 22 for Weyburn, and minus 25 for Estevan. Wind chill later on this afternoon, making it feel very cold. It's going to feel like minus 22 this afternoon for Regina and about minus 24 for Saskatoon. Your 7-day forecast showing we do have some more snow on the way once we get through the overnight snow tonight and tomorrow night. Some more on the way for our next work week. On Tuesday is when we see that falling right now. And in Saskatoon, more of the same. A cold weekend, minus 22 on Saturday. Take note of that. Bundle up on the weekend. And then some more snow falling early next week on Tuesday.
For today in history, December 3rd, 1985, Quebec's Old City was classified as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. December 3rd, 2010, Kathy Dunderdale was sworn in as the first female premier of Newfoundland and Labrador. And December 3rd, 1958, the Laurentian autoroute officially opened from Montreal to Saint-Jovite.
Okay, so we've been talking about this game people are being encouraged to try at their next Christmas get-togethers. See? Spin in a circle, step on the paper. Simple. So, naturally, I understand you guys gave it a shot.
Here we go.
How long do we go?
30 seconds. Okay, who's timing our 30 seconds?
You're at 10.
Oh, no. Okay, okay.
Oh, I'm so...
Should we just drop it?
Okay, let's go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. I gotta lean. You dove all over the place.
Because I thought you had to like 2-foot stomp on it, and Daryl just so gingerly placed his down.
Listen, I can handle my spins apparently.
I thought that I could just stomp on it, and then you lose balance.
Well, listen, last week you guys did the spin around thing, so we thought it was our turn to step up to the plate, right?
Fun.
Yeah, so there we go. Question of the day, I'm just hammering back all of the mini candy canes that I can come inside reach.
As you should. Christmas means you're allowed to. You're allowed to just eat all the sugar you want. It's Christmas. Lori saying her favorite appetizer at a Christmas function, though, is surprise spread. And then she said, if you know, you know. I actually didn't know. Do you two know what this is?
No.
So I had to
Google it. Is it like the 10-layer stuff?
Well, from what I Googled, it does have layers, but it's something with some vegetables and mayonnaise, and it is kind of like a spread like that. You can put it on chips and things like that. So looked good. Julia saying chocolate, caramel-covered macaroons with walnuts. It wouldn't be Christmas without some sweets, right? Lori also saying my favorite appetizer would be nachos and homemade dip. Donna from Yorkton saying homemade nuts and bolts. And Allison saying cabbage rolls and plum pudding. Earlier in the show, you may remember that we also said Shauna wrote in and said that cheese ball, it's apparently to die for and easy to make. When we were talking about it last hour, Shauna actually did us this fine courtesy of sending us the recipe. So take a look at your screen right now. That's the cheese ball recipe if you want a really easy appetizer that is to die for. And of course, Shauna also adding those bits and bites. Thank you so much to everybody who wrote us in this morning to answer this question of the day, and a special thank you to Shauna for sending us that recipe. We really appreciate that.
Yeah.
season of joy and happiness. But if you're grieving a loss, the holidays may also bring sorrow and pain.
While the holidays can be a wonderful time, it can also bring up memories of lost family members, which we know can then exacerbate potential feelings of sadness, feelings of hurt, disappointment, and potential anger.
Clinical psychologist Adam Borland with Cleveland Clinic says it's important to recognize that this time of year can be difficult, whether it's your first holiday without a loved one or you've grieved through multiple ones. It's okay to feel sad this time of year.
Communicate with your support system. If you're feeling this way, it's likely that another family member is also feeling this way.
Experts say understanding that feelings of sadness may be heightened this time of year can be reassuring. So express those feelings to someone you trust and be flexible with holiday traditions. Family members may need to manage expectations regarding those rituals. You can also start new ones, honoring the lost loved one.
Focus on the happy memories that you had with this individual. Maybe look at some photographs, maybe exchange stories.
Focus on coping skills that have helped you in the past and recognize that you can hold more than one feeling at a time. Finally, intentionally care for yourself. Experts say it can be helpful to make a checklist of healthy habits.
It's okay to feel this way. It's okay to miss that person. And if it gets to a point where it's really problematic, you can speak with a trained mental health professional.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
The Holiday Haul aims to cover off everyone, even that person who might have everything already. So Mike Siona has some ideas from Lee Valley. Mike.
Well, at Lee Valley, they do have everybody covered, even that hard-to-buy for person or somebody that you want to teach a new skill, somebody who's maybe an enthusiast. Talk to me, first and foremost, this is actually Ben's, by the way. Talk to me about what we've got in terms of some of those different workshops and drop-ins and demos.
So workshops are paid programs in which you learn about a project. You will go home with a completed item. You come in, you spend a couple hours, you learn the skill, you learn to use the tools, and then you can carry on that skill at home.
That's fantastic. Now, I understand the next one that's coming up in terms of that actually features one of these, and you making this stool.
Yeah. Actually, this one is the lino cut. Oh. So you learn all about printmaking. You use a piece of linoleum, you do some relief carving, and you can make your own stamps.
Fantastic. This one was the stool then.
That was the stool.
Got my lefts and my rights backwards here on the back side of this camera. But really cool, and everything you need is in the box.
Everything you need is in the box. They give you projects, or they give you the materials to go from start to finish, and you shouldn't need anything else beyond the box.
Fantastic. Now behind us here we've got a whole display of other different kits, do-it-yourself projects, and then this one here is kind of a unique one as well.
Yeah, this one is a company from Ukraine called Beavercraft. These ones are our entry-level carving kits. We do have some advanced projects this year as well, and they're just really nice. Again, everything in the box. We really will give you everything from start to finish, and those guys, they just really enhance that, giving the gift that carries on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, give somebody a hunk of wood, you got a hunk of wood, but show them how to carve it. Now we've got something. Thank you very much. It's been a fantastic morning down here at Lee Valley.
Saskatchewan facing its first real test of winter driving. Several highways reporting snow-covered conditions this morning, winter driving conditions as well. Carl Nadeau is a former professional race car driver and Michelin expert, joins us down the line this morning. Carl, thank you so much for doing this. I guess we need to each and every year remind people how to drive in colder weather. So how do we adjust for that first snow and cold?
First of all, you need winter tires because it's, from what I can see, it's minus 24 in Saskatchewan right now. It's extremely cold, and all-season tire below freezing point. Unfortunately, they lose their capacity, so the rubber compound hardens and they lose their grip, and you need grip. So which kind of tire you're running right now, you need to leave a lot of space between you and the car in front of you, and you always have to look as far as you can in front front of the car, because the further you look, the more time you have to process the information and adjust. So if you see somebody skidding in front of you, well, you can slow down and you can choose to either stop or pass the other car in a safe way. So you need to look far, and you absolutely need to be smooth. So whatever you do inside of the car, we always say smooth is fast in motor racing, but smooth is safe in city driving. So steering input, you have to be very, very gentle. Same with hitting the brakes or accelerating. And please avoid to combine. So you never accelerate with the wheel turned, and same with braking. If your wheels are turned, you don't hit the brake hard because you might lose control.
So what happens if we do lose control? How do we get that back?
You always look where you want to go, not at the scary part that might hurt you. So you always look for a solution. So if the back end starts sliding and your eyes are looking at the right spot, naturally you're going to position the steering wheel because you're looking at the right place, and you might be able to catch the slide. One thing's for sure, if the back end starts sliding, please don't touch the brake because you're already on the verge of absolutely losing control. So if you tap the brake, it's going to send the car into a slide. So it's very, very important to be smooth again.
Let's talk about those EVs. There's not a lot of them on the road in Saskatchewan, but they are gaining in popularity. How does the cold affect range?
Well, the range is going to be affected quite a bit, especially at that kind of cold weather. We've seen in the industry anywhere between 25 to 40% of autonomy loss, which is a lot. The problem is EV cars, they recharge when you lift the accelerator pedal. So basically, it kind of slows down the car, and that energy is sent to the battery. Problem is when it's really slippery, whether it's snow or extreme cold weather like you have right now, by releasing abruptly the accelerator pedal, it's got the same effect in a manual car as if you do 4-3 second gear and you lift the clutch. Like that slow down process might upset the balance of the car. So I strongly suggest that the automatic charging, when you release the accelerator pedal, you either shut it down or at least make it smoother. So it's going to basically, it might save your life at some point.
There you go. Tips from a pro. Carl, thanks for doing this.
Absolute pleasure. Be safe out there.
RBC is the latest Canadian bank to report its earnings, and it's beating analysts' estimates. Adjusted earnings per share were $3.85 compared to the consensus of $3.76 on net income of $5.43 billion. Now, it did raise its provision for credit losses slightly higher than expected to $1.01 billion. National, in the wake of the announcement it was buying part of Laurentian Bank, releases its earnings today. The Bank of Nova Scotia reported strong earnings yesterday. Toronto, like Vancouver, is seeing drops in activity. New listings and average selling prices for houses, they're all down last month as potential home buyers stayed on the sidelines. The Toronto Regional Real Estate Board says 5,010 homes changed hands in November, down 15.8% from the same month last year, as sales ticked 0.6% lower on a seasonally adjusted basis from October. The average selling price was down 6.4% from last year to just over $1.04 million, and the composite benchmark price was down 5.8%. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
But it keep coming back like a revolving door. Said I don't want you less, but I just want you more. So I keep coming back. The way you got me all in my head. Think I'd rather you in my bed.
Welcome back to your morning. It is 8:30. Prime Minister Mark Carney has now promised to meet with coastal First Nations after a vote to oppose the Alberta pipeline agreement.
Canada can create all the MOUs, project offices, advisory groups that they want, but chiefs are united. When it comes to approving large national projects on First Nations lands, there will not be getting around rights holders.
At the Assembly of First Nations gathering in Ottawa, chiefs unanimously voted to uphold BC's Northern Coast oil tanker ban and to oppose the Alberta Pipeline Agreement. The Prime Minister announced his government will introduce clean drinking water legislation in the spring. Fire departments that battled unprecedented summer wildfires have received special recognition at the Legislative Building. On Tuesday, close to 50 departments from across Saskatchewan and Manitoba awarded the Premier's commendation. Wayne Mantika was there.
Hundreds of firefighters from across Saskatchewan and parts of Manitoba answered the call to protect lives and property as wildfires rage through Saskatchewan's north. Many say they have never experienced anything like it.
It was a little more intense than we had seen. We don't have that kind of forest around home, so it was definitely a little different, but definitely an experience, to say the least.
Nearly 50 fire departments that took part in the forest fire effort were awarded the Premier's commendation at the Legislature.
To recognize people that had stepped up in the face of adversity, danger, stepped up with great courage to help other Saskatchewan residents.
Many of the fire departments recognized are comprised of volunteers who were dispatched to where help was needed most.
We were initially actually dispatched to Pelican Narrows, and when we arrived, we were redirected to the town of Creighton. At that time, Denary Beach is actually on fire.
The firefighters appreciated the recognition.
It's fantastic. It's so nice to see the Premier come and really talk about everything that happened and to thank everybody individually on behalf of their fire department for helping. And I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better.
The NDP believe the government must be better prepared for future fire seasons. It has introduced legislation calling for a strategy to avoid wildfires. The government says a strategy already exists. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
People interested in a career in the mining industry have an opportunity to study in their home communities going forward thanks to a major investment. Sierra D'Souza Butts has the details.
With the town of Esterhazy being home to the Mosaic Company's largest potash operation, the town is always looking for opportunities to keep young people in the community.
Students that are in Esterhazy, their parents already work at the mines. So with them getting the education in Esterhazy, they can become second or third generation miners, which means, of course, growth.
Now that's closer to happening.
I'm pleased to share that the Mosaic Company is committing $4 million to programs with several important education partners here in Saskatchewan.
Mosaic's $4 million investment will provide high schools and post-secondary institutions across Saskatchewan a chance to expand educational opportunities for students considering mining careers.
We are already looking at positions that we need to fill, one being industrial mechanics. So throughout the year, we've had about 20 rotating empty positions and have been trying to fill those. And there's about 100 roles just for industrial mechanics in Esterhazy. So it's critical that we start investing in that pipeline. So as people retire, we can fill it every time there's an opening.
Good Spirit School Division, Suncrest College, Saskatchewan Polytechnic, and a potash mining readiness program for Indigenous students will each receive at least $1 million from Mosaic.
We'll be able to almost quadruple the number of students that we're able to put through our practical and applied arts millwright program in Churchbridge that doors would have been closed for in the past.
It's a great pathway for students in rural Saskatchewan to be able to get this education at home is phenomenal, and we know that our learners thrive when they study close to home.
Each institution will use the funding differently, but the goal is the same, building a larger workforce for one of Saskatchewan's largest industries. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
The first big snowstorm of the season hitting Atlantic Canada.
Last winter, 5 of the 6 storms, we were below 75% of our deliverables. So we have several measures putting in place this year to increase that service standard for the community.
There are orange level snowfall warnings in effect in Cape Breton and parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, as they can see up to 50 centimeters of snow. Cities in the region have been getting ready for the storm. St. John had 46 plows ready to go to keep the roads and sidewalks clear. Halifax's airport is trying to keep disruptions to a minimum. And the storm caused significant damage in the U.S. as well. Here's Ginger Z.
Overnight, the nor'easter twisting through New England, heavy snow and ice slathering the roads. Dangerous conditions leading to hundreds of accidents from Missouri to Massachusetts, including this pickup truck crashing into the center wall of Route 54 in Missouri.
Absolutely horrible, like terrible.
A little scary, a little slick out there. On I-35 outside Charleston, West Virginia, the cab of a semi-truck dangerously dangling from an icy highway bridge.
Multiple callers advised that the semi is hanging off of the bridge.
The driver stuck inside for more than 5 hours. First responders finally pulling him to safety. And in Connecticut, on Interstate 84, this blue semi losing control, jackknifing and flipping over the guardrail. In Kansas, this school bus spinning and sliding, bystanders jumping in to help get it up a hill. Snowplows and salt trucks working around the clock to treat the roads. Ginger Z, ABC News, New York.
I always say during situations like this, better there than here.
Yes, yeah, we're not seeing anywhere close to that amount of snow in the province for the next few days at least. We are going to be seeing about 3 centimeters of snow for some areas around Prince Albert, but that's really the most for what we're seeing today. Heading into tomorrow morning in particular, we are going to be seeing a few more flakes in Regina included. Right now, though, waking us up at -16, a few flakes in the area, but nothing to be too concerned about. -25, though, to wake us up in Saskatoon. So a very cold start to the day. We do have a few clouds, but at least the sun is now up and winds very low to start your day. And we're not really going to be seeing those winds increasing all too much throughout the afternoon today either. Let's turn our attention now to this futurecast because it shows that system that's making its way in from the north. It's going to be tracking down southeast Prince Albert, going to be seeing some of those flurries later on into those overnight hours, Saskatoon as well. And then we see that system continuing to track southeast right over top of the Parkland region. Regina and Yorkton going to be getting a few flurries into tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, we shift our focus down through the southwest corner. Swift Current going to be seeing those flurries, and then continuing on into those overnight hours as well. Current temperatures now, we're seeing very cold weather to start the day, especially up north. Stony Rapids at -34 degrees right now, -27 in La Ronge, -23 for Prince Albert, Nipawin, Melfort, and Hudson Bay. Down towards the south, warmer temperatures, still not warm exactly, but warmer than what we're seeing up north. -14 in East End, -14 in Swift Current, -22 in Weyburn, and -25 waking us up in Estevan. Temperatures across the board really showing that we're seeing below the seasonal average temperatures into the afternoon as well. This is just the official temperatures. It's not what it's going to feel like with the wind chill. That's going to be significantly colder. But Regina peaking around -14, Saskatoon around -15, and Yorkton around -16. Here's those wind chill numbers, though. Feeling like -22 this afternoon, feeling like -24 up in Saskatoon, and feeling like -30 throughout the afternoon in Prince Albert. So definitely bundle up on your way out the door. We're seeing that overnight snow tonight, overnight snow tomorrow morning, or tomorrow evening rather as well. And then we see a mix of sun and cloud for the weekend. Saturday in particular looking really cold. -18 is where we're peaking in Regina. Again, wind chill going to be a factor. Some more snow on the way for into our next work week. On Tuesday is what our radar is showing for the time being, but at least temperatures a little bit warmer, peaking at 0 degrees that day for Regina. In Saskatoon, overnight snow tonight, overnight snow tomorrow. Cold on Saturday, as we mentioned, -22, and some snow on the way for Tuesday, -3.
Greetings, everyone. There are a number of initiatives happening across Canada to help grow the game of hockey, including one program coming straight from the top. NHL First Shift recently made its way to Regina, giving families some of the pieces needed to begin exploring hockey in a competitive capacity.
A unique
tryout is happening on the ice. 45 skaters new to the sport of hockey, breaking in their skates, sticks, and equipment for the very first time. They are all a part of NHL First Shift, a program helping to get skaters and families into Canada's favorite pastime.
It's so much more than sport. You know, what we're providing is really safe spaces for kids to come and to play and to try and to build courage at any skill level. And so to be able to provide that for kids where they can build their confidence and relate with their peers and try something new, it's really remarkable.
For generations, youth in Canada looking to make it in pro hockey has been a family effort. The sport requires both time and resources, which has been a barrier for many looking to pursue it. First Shift is intended to help families manage these barriers by getting players geared up on arena ice and learning to play the game from instructors.
We are not really familiar with the hockey life leagues, and just having somebody out there showing us right from what we need and how to put it on to the basics in skating.
The NHL First Shift program has worked with over 22,000 children across Canada. 45 skaters ages 6 to 10 are in this group, made up entirely of Indigenous children. Throughout the 6-week program, skaters will be in a 1-to-4 ratio with instructors, preparing to play a season with Rancheros Outdoor Hockey League. The OHL has been a longtime advocate for removing barriers for children to play hockey.
The OHL, the Outdoor Hockey League, has been growing, and now to be able to supplement our program with First Shift to give another opportunity to our players and youth in our city. We look forward to further opportunities where we're able to engage and give back to community.
The NHL First Shift program was made possible by sponsorships from One Hoop and Innovation Federal Credit Union, along with Hockey Regina and Arlo Sport Venture.
If you have a story you would like to see in this segment, here's how to reach us. You can contact me by email, and you can also watch past episodes and segments of Indigenous Circle on our CTV Regina and CTV Saskatoon websites.
Indigenous Circle is brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Indigenous Enterprise Foundation, growing the First Nation entrepreneurial spirit.
Jeffrey Straker is coming home for Christmas yet again, bringing his Very Prairie Christmas show to a community near you. And we're getting a little taste this morning as we welcome in Jeffrey Straker and Bryn Bessie to the studio. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
So we're really excited to hear about the show. Where are you kicking things off and what's going to be happening on that stage?
So we got big band shows in Regina, at Casino Regina, December 13th and 14th, with a big 10-piece band bringing a Very Prairie Christmas to life, as we do every year. It's the 9th year doing this. We're pretty excited. But a few other shows around Saskatchewan, if I can take a quick second.
Absolutely.
4th and 5th, we're in Saskatoon, only a couple tickets left. 7th in Nipawin. And then we move over to, after the casino shows, we have the 16th is near Humboldt and Marysburg, 17th in Yorkton, 19th Swift Current. So we're crossing the entire province with a Very Prairie Christmas this year.
Really quickly here, what are you most looking forward to?
Oh, you know what? My partner is baking dainty trays for each of these shows for one lucky audience member. I love seeing that person win the dainty tray.
Oh, wonderful. All right, looking forward to that. Really quickly, also, what are you singing today for us?
We're going to sing an original holiday tune of mine called Come Walking in the Snow with Me.
Looking forward to that. Once again, this is Jeffrey Straker and Bryn Bessie. Take it away.
Here we go. Being with you this Christmas makes it feel brand new. Lights a little brighter, bells are ringing louder too. I don't have many wishes for what I want under the tree. Just that when the snow falls, you take my hand and walk with me. Come walking hand in hand in the fresh falling snow. Arms wrapped around you, babe, so everyone will know. More than anything I can find under the tree. Want you to come walking in the snow with me. We hear the carolers singing old Christmas songs. If you want, we can join and sing along. If we get cold, we can head back home inside. Spark those old oil lanterns babe, so everyone will know. More than anything I could find under the tree. Want you to come walking in the snow with me. Bit of guitar. Lights a little brighter. Lights a little brighter. Bells a little louder. Bells a little louder. The air a little colder. The air a little colder. Hold you a little closer. You a little closer. Come walking hand in hand in the fresh falling snow. Arms wrapped around you, babe, so everyone will know. Walking hand in hand in the fresh falling snow. Arms wrapped around you, babe, so everyone will know. More than anything I could find under the tree. Want you to come walking in the snow with me. Oh, would you, baby? Walking in the snow with me. Holding you close now. Walking in the snow with me.
I wanted to protect you from all your mom's stuff, and all my stuff, even though I know that's impossible.
Plenty of stuff ahead this award season for one battle after another. Both the Gotham Awards and the New York Film Critics Circle gave the Paul Thomas Anderson movie their top prize. Both groups named Iranian filmmaker Jafar Pahani Best Director for It Was Just an Accident, with the Gotham Awards also giving that film Best International Feature and Best Original Screenplay. Make-A-Wish is honoring Goldie Hawn. The Oscar-winning actress and longtime children's advocate is set to receive the Power of a Wish Award Friday at this year's Greater Los Angeles Wish Gala.
I want to see Vecna's heart on a platter.
He wasn't alone. Netflix says Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1 racked up nearly 60 million views in its first 5 days. That's the best premiere week total for an English-language series on the streamer, and third best overall behind the final 2 seasons of Squid Game. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Yeah, what could go wrong? No idea.
It was a very special afternoon for one young lady who went backstage at Radio City Music Hall with a wish to dance with the world-famous Rockettes.
It's the busy season, but the dancers took the time to give the 12-year-old a private lesson. Linda Baccaro with why.
8 and 1, reach 2, 3, drag 4, chaîné 5, hand 6, step, flick 8.
For 12-year-old Lily, it was a wish come true. This young competitive dancer from Arizona gifted a private lesson with 2 of the world-famous Radio City Rockettes.
And 1, reach 2, 3.
Some of the moves I was familiar with, but like all the footwork was harder.
7, 8.
Lily Santisi learned moves from Bailey Harding, a 14-season veteran, and Paige McCrae, who's been with the Christmas Spectacular starring the Radio City Rockettes for 4 years.
Being able to teach her the exact choreography from the Christmas Spectacular is, 1, truly very special, but 2, she's fantastic and was able to learn it so quickly.
Lily's parents and 7-year-old brother Tristan watched with awe and admiration as their daughter showed her strength here in the rehearsal studio and in her battle against a type of bone cancer.
Just very emotional. It's just been a long time since we watched her dance on stage and even just practicing. So to see her back in the studio, it definitely is emotional.
Lily learned 12 high kicks. The Rockettes, who are celebrating their 100th anniversary this year, do 200 per show. How about those kicks? How was that?
It was hard. There's so many, and it was so quick.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. And then that's the end of your holiday season combination. It's 2.
Lily also among the 500 families from the MSG Families Foundation and its partner group, Make-A-Wish, treated to a performance today at Radio City during Garden of Dreams Day.
Obviously, she went through something horrible, and you would never want that, but, you know,
the organizations, Make-A-Wish and everything, they're just amazing that they just give these kids some joy, you know, when they are at their lowest, and it really just helps them.
That's it, back front. To know that they're as excited as we once were as audience members too when we were younger and came to see the show is absolutely spectacular.
You're a big fan of the Rockettes.
Another reason to love them. How can you not love the Rockettes, though?
You said you had good kicks when you were a dancer. I think we should probably demonstrate that as long as we're doing other goofy things on the show.
I will, but you have to be, well, back in the day, you had to be a certain height to be a Rockette, and I am not 5'7".
Look at this man.
Oh,
look at this
Jeremy.
guy. Look at this guy.
Wow, point those toes.
No big
point
deal.
those toes.
It's, he's going to be on long-term disability.
I am calling the Rockettes after this show. I'm going to say I have someone for you.
His hip flexors. If you're a chiropractor in the area, you give JD a call. Let's get on to sidebar. Just out of
How do we
nowhere.
move on from that?
The high kicks just out of nowhere. My goodness, if we had a best of show, that would lead it.
Yeah, that was really good.
Followed by you falling over
thanks,
with the paper.
guys.
My goodness. How about these fishermen and women in Peru getting into the Christmas spirit? The boats are kind of cool. Traditional reed boats. They dress up as Santa Claus. They go into the water. They try not to get chomped by sharks. Santa Jaws.
I just don't know if they look safe. I think I would be really nervous to be in one of these.
The Santa suit.
Yeah, the Santa suit and just the boats.
Yeah. Santa wouldn't let anything happen.
That's right.
Honest.
Where are the life jackets?
Would you rather be the paddler or the rider?
The rider, always the rider, because I don't want to do the work.
Always the rider.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll show you this game you can try at your next Christmas get-together that we failed at. So all you gotta do is spin in a circle, step on the paper. It's pretty easy, right?
In theory.
Maybe not. We didn't do so great. I did okay.
I think it would also be easier if you weren't so close to everybody else doing it, because it's the running into people that's the issue.
Yeah.
That's part of the fun. I think you guys needed to spin longer.
I think we needed to give producer Nathan some sort of explanation, because we just told him, grab this, spin in a circle.
But watch how gingerly Daryl puts down his paper and steps on it. I tried to jump on it.
Okay, here we go. Look at that. That's an athlete.
Yeah, Kayleen, you tried to do too much.
I just have energy I need to burn.
Producer Nathan's still not okay after all of that. Okay, one of your favorite bands from back in the day.
Backstreet's back. Take a look at this. It's the Backstreet Boys.
Everybody, rock your body. Everybody.
So
it's so ridiculous it works.
Right now I'm at that phase where I'm teaching my 18-month-old how to say animal sounds.
She's 18 months already?
In December, yeah, in a couple weeks here, 18 months. So we're learning all the animal sounds. If I say, what does a sheep say, she will say ba. So I wonder if I could train her somehow to do this version of Backstreet's Back.
Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, why not?
You just count her, then she could ba, and you could just count her when you go to sleep instead of sheep.
Count.
Ba. You just jump over in a little sheep costume.
Oh, come on, Daryl. We know our kids don't sleep.
No, ours don't. No, God, no. Oof, I'd like to. A rare set of the famous Four Seasons paintings are being auctioned off in London this week. Jeremy, you can probably afford these. These original set of 16th century version, previously owned by the Queen of Bohemia, not to be confused with the Bohemian Rhapsody Queen. This is expected to sell for up to $22 million.
But why? I mean, it's beautiful.
Okay.
It's beautiful, and art is very valuable, but $22 million is what I'm wondering. Why would you spend that kind of cash?
I have never heard of these.
After the high kicks, I kind of expect him to break out an easel and just Bob Ross and come back to camera. Come back to camera. There he is. I'm like, sorry, guys.
My skill set is quite limited.
It begins and ends with the Radio City Rockettes.
Yeah. And ice packs. And ice packs. Yeah. Do we have time for this, Corey? We do not have time for this. Thank goodness. That's been a Wednesday. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you again tomorrow morning.